Ashton Kutcher has found himself in a lot of headlines lately as he has been known to be friends with Diddy. The two of them do go way back, and Ashton has been seen in clips talking about attending Diddy parties, and there's just a lot being said with people not knowing how to feel, and a lot of people just wanting answers of how many people knew what Diddy was doing, were they a part of it? And obviously nothing is being said that is confirmed about Ashton Kutcher, but there's just so many conversations being had right now of people speculating and really digging into every single celebrity that has been pictured with Diddy or has attended one of his parties. Everyone is being very closely watched at the moment, so we're going to be getting into kind of what has been said about other celebrities, what's been said about Ashton Kutcher, and also this documentary that's being worked on by 50 Cent. We're going to talk about it. All eyes have been on celebrities with close relationships to Diddy, or celebrities who have ever even made a mention of going to a Diddy party, as people just want to know who knew what about Diddy. I recently talked about the fact that the Kardashians have found themselves under fire after old clips resurfaced from their show where Khloe was seen talking about her experience going to parties with Diddy and other celebrities, including Justin Bieber, making mentions of people at the parties being butt naked.
So who was with you this weekend?
A bunch of my friends.
Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber,
So far, so
French
good.
Montana.
Do you even know half the people you're naming?
No.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Go to this party. I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
Have you met Chloe's new, crew of friends?
No. Well, kind of.
You did?
Yeah. Stop talking.
Have you met Chloe's new crew of friends?
And all I said was yes.
Stop
And then
talking.
I stopped. All I said was yes.
Though it's not been reported the Kardashians knew any of what caused Diddy to be arrested, but people online certainly have their eyes on those who have been very publicly photographed with him or made mentions of attending one of his parties. As reported, Diddy is currently facing serious legal trouble. He was arrested last week and charged with multiple felonies. These charges stem from a lengthy federal investigation that also involved the raid of his homes in Los Angeles and Miami earlier in the year. Diddy has pled not guilty, and his legal team has promised to fight the accusations, but if convicted, Diddy could be facing life in prison. Prosecutors allege that Diddy led a criminal operation, sometimes referred to as freak-offs, and the public wants to know who knew or attended these freak-offs. Now, we do not have any information on celebs that he's been pictured with at events and parties knowing or having attended these, but people are digging to try and find out. And it's causing celebrities like the Kardashians, Usher, Ashton Kutcher, and many others to be put under a microscope. I mean, recently I talked about the fact that people were trying to say that Kevin Hart suddenly shutting down all of his vegan fast food restaurants was something to be suspicious about, since he did it several days before Diddy's arrest. Now, there is zero confirmation about any connection there, but when I tell you guys, people are looking at every single thing right now, I mean it. And now Ashton Kutcher is the next celeb getting looked at for his close friendship with Diddy. And a resurfaced clip of him talking about Diddy in an episode of Hot Ones has been going around online.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote. If you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow. Okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either. I mean, like actually cycling through them. There was one moment. So it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked because he was like, "Yo,
Don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me," and I was like, "I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's on the table." He's like, "Not me. I'm off the table." And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends. And we used to just hang out, watch football together.
People have been looking at this and they have grown very suspicious of Ashton Kutcher. They're like, we need to be keeping our eye on this guy, because they just didn't really realize or remember how close he used to be with Diddy, and that he did attend a lot of Diddy's parties and events, and that the two were quite friendly. As Ashton mentioned, their friendship started on the television show Punk'd. In an episode, Ashton's Punk'd team orchestrated a prank on Diddy, which involved a valet crashing Diddy's luxury car and creating a whole chaotic scene. From there, Ashton and Diddy kept in touch, often pictured together at the same events, and Ashton had attended Diddy's famous Labor Day white parties. And when Ashton was named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world in 2010, Diddy was the one to write a tribute for Ashton. Time published that Diddy wrote, "I first met Ashton Kutcher when we were both on MTV. He was doing Punk'd and I was doing Making the Band. For a while, with Jamie Foxx, we were a rat pack, hanging out, going to clubs. I remember one night he was with Demi, maybe for the first time, and a couple of weeks later, he called to tell me he was in love. That was the end of our clubbing, but we are still friends. Not that cliche, let's make a movie, let's do a deal. He is a sounding board for me. Like me, he's a mogul, a new media mogul. But we are yin and yang. I'm in your face, but he is understood." He went on to praise Ashton for being one of the first celebrities to harness the power of social media. Diddy also made mentions of Ashton and his then wife Demi Moore's philanthropic work, which the two of them worked with an organization that works to combat trafficking and the exploitation of children. So Diddy had all these good things to say about Ashton, which isn't making Ashton look the best at the moment, and people are saying a lot right now, even speculating that his closeness with Diddy has come between him and his current wife, Mila Kunis. Yes, you guys, this is a current rumor going around right now, but sources close to Mila and Ashton are saying this is completely false. People had gone around saying that Mila had moved out over this and that the two were separating. It turned into this whole big thing online. But according to People, this is absolutely ridiculous and false, the source says in response to online chatter claiming the couple are separating amid renewed speculation over Kutcher's past friendship with Sean Diddy Combs. Adds another source, Ashton has no involvement in any of this. He doesn't belong in this conversation about Diddy. Ashton has only seen Diddy in a handful of social and business events, all of which have been documented by the media. People have been looking towards photos of the two of them in the past where it seems like it was more than just them hanging out at events, like the time they were on a run together. I mean, this was back in 2003 in Diddy's neighborhood in LA. I mean, it doesn't look like a business event, I'm gonna tell you that. But like I said, it's been reported by the source that they only hung out a handful of times at social and business events. But Diddy also supported Ashton alongside his then wife Demi Moore at the CNN building back in 2009. Ashton was having a really good day because he had won the race to 1 million followers on Twitter. He had done a ton of interviews this day, and when exiting the CNN building, this is who he was spotted with. But again, a source is telling people that they've only seen each other, like I said, a handful of times, and he should not be in these conversations about Diddy. I will say though that his name has been brought into conversation surrounding Diddy long before this Hot Ones clip started going around this week, as back in April, Daily Mail did write an article talking about him, writing Ashton Kutcher is expecting a subpoena over his good friend Sean Diddy Combs, saying this was in part of the investigation going on. They also wrote that him and Diddy were not in contact as his wife Mila forbid it. They wrote, Diddy, 54, and Ashton, 46, have been friends for decades, but the former Punk'd host will not be commenting on the scandal, with insiders claiming his wife Mila, 40, has forbidden any contact. There is no way in hell Ashton or Mila will be showing any sort of public support for Diddy right now, the source told DailyMail.com exclusively. Regardless of Ashton's long history with him, he has distanced himself from Diddy since Cassie's lawsuit, and even more so in the wake of the new ones. Mila will not let Ashton be in any sort of contact. He is expecting a subpoena as they have been good friends for 20 years. Previously, Mila and Ashton have received backlash for their letter in support of former friend and co-star of That 70s Show, Danny Masterson. This was getting brought up at the time, just people talking about whether or not Ashton and Mila were going to come out and support Diddy because they had supported Danny, because it was a very big deal when it came out that Danny was facing serious legal charges, and in the end, he was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. Under the sentencing structure, he will be eligible for parole after 30 years, but depending on the parole board's decision, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. But it came out that Mila and Ashton wrote character letters for him. They weren't contesting his guilt, but rather they were trying to provide insight on his personal qualities for the judge to consider during sentencing, talking about how they knew him and wanted to just give a different perspective on him. And when it was revealed that they wrote them, they got so much backlash, and people saw it as an attempt to downplay the seriousness of the crimes or undermine the victims' experiences. They ended up making a video that honestly only made things worse.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim.
And the video is being brought up once again because of all that's been said right now, and people are just questioning everything that they're hearing about these two. But like I said, he's not the only one being questioned. It's everyone who has ever been seen with Diddy that is being looked at right now very closely. But one celeb who is vocal, speaking out on all things Diddy, is 50 Cent, who has talked about Diddy for a while now. And news broke this week that he's actually going to be working on a docuseries with Netflix in regards to the Diddy case. He posted the announcement from Variety on Instagram on Wednesday, and in the caption, he said, "I've been telling y'all about this weird ish. I don't do no puffy parties. You didn't believe me, but I bet you believe me now." So as of right now, that's what's been said about celebs and by celebs so far in all of this. I want to know what you guys think about everything coming out right now in the comments. I think it's truly just so crazy how truly connected this man was. Like, I know he's famous, but I swear every day I'm seeing a new celeb I didn't think who knew him in a photo with him, but it's true. But let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.